Hey everybody, welcome back to Out of the Ordinary with Jay, and today I'm with Mike, who is a very experienced longtime Tai Chi instructor. And so Mike, I know almost nothing about Tai Chi, so we're going to have to learn together, the audience and I, about this from you. So how would you describe Tai Chi to someone who's never seen it or heard about it?
Tai Chi is moving meditation.
Meditation.
You do subtle movements with your breathing exercises so that you can cultivate your internal energy, which we call Chi.
Okay.
They call it Chi, Ki, Prana, different cultures.
Okay.
They call it different else, but it's your life force, your life energy. So there's standing posture, there's some moving forward, moving backward, movements, upward, downward. So when you synchronize these and you learn to listen on the inside and you start cultivating the energy of the universe with your body, and that increases your vibration. So what I say is we go to the gym,
Okay.
we work out our body, and we want to get strong, we want to get lean, you know.
Sure.
As a martial artist for many years, I did Taekwondo for 15 years.
Wow.
I've been doing Tai Chi now for 26 years, going on 26 years now.
See, I told you he was experienced.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Did Kung Fu for a year. But, you know, martial artists want to be fast, they want to be smooth, they want to be fluid. Tai Chi teaches you how to be fluid and to flow. They call it the grand ultimate.
So
So
the grand
what we
ultimate?
do is the grand ultimate, so that this is the highest form of basically a martial art so my Tai Chi master always says you have martial arts as the lowest level, then you have healing, then you have spiritual practice. So people get into Tai Chi or yoga or anything. Tai Chi relieves stress. It helps you balance. It helps with blood flow. Tai Chi is, Harvard did a study on Tai Chi, and it's real. They know that
What's Harvard?
It's Harvard.
Yeah.
Medical school did a study on Tai Chi. They know that it's real. It's good for the body. It's good for the energy. Our body is, electrical neurons, right? We're an electrical system. So when we do moving meditation, what we're doing is we're working out our Chi. As our Chi gets stronger, we maintain our health and longevity.
So the question that comes to my mind on that is, you were talking about energy and stuff. I think when I'm working something, I'm increasing it. But isn't Tai Chi also like relaxing for like stress and anxiety and stuff? So
absolutely.
am I increasing what am I doing?
So
I guess it's kind of
it's
paradoxical.
It is a paradox, right? So as you do your gentle moving meditation, right? You're slowing your breath, long, slow breaths, which calms the body, calms the mind.
Nervous system would be getting a nice break.
It gets a nice break, right? And you lose yourself. You lose yourself in the moment. So I tell my mind tells the energy, and the energy moves my body.
Is this relatable at all? So I've not done Tai Chi, but I've done a fair amount of yoga. And one of the things I like about yoga is you could disagree with me, but I am so horrible at it, meaning I'm not good at it.
Right.
The balancing is difficult. It's very difficult. I have to be present or I will fall and waste the person next to me.
Correct.
Right? So like that concept of it, it's something I have to pay attention to between the breathing and the movement and all that stuff. It really works well for me. So
yes.
Is it similar?
It's very similar.
Okay.
But with yoga, you will have if certain systems. I took yoga for a while, about 6 months, because I wanted to get more flexible in my martial arts.
Yeah.
It didn't get me any more flexible, so
okay.
I was pretty flexible already.
Must be nice.
But I say if you want to get flexible, that's real simple. You stretch every day, 5 minutes every day. Just stretch.
Okay.
Let your breath out, stretch a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, if you're standing up, you're touching your toes, exhale, you'll go a little bit farther each day. If you stop stretching, right? So when I was at my school that I taught at, I was there 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I was stretching 5 days a week.
Probably
now on those days off,
flexible.
I didn't stretch. but I
No need, you had 5 days, yeah.
I maintain that flexibility. Do you need to warm up? Yeah, you would warm up, but stretching is so important to the
And
whole body.
do you get stretching in Tai Chi?
You do a warm up with stretching.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just slow movements. You warm up your neck, your
Things
waist,
that you're gonna be. I got you.
your shoulders, and you're just trying to just relax the body. So we call it preparation. We're preparing to do moving meditation.
All right. So to finish off just the introduction to this before I get into my good questions
Yeah.
here, what first drew you to personally to Tai Chi? What was it that got you into
That's
it?
a great question. So back in the 80s, when I was a teenager, my first boss in the grocery store industry, I was a baker for 29 years. I ended up getting in the bakery industry by accident in the grocery store I worked at. And my first boss was my first Taekwondo instructor.
Okay.
And everybody in the night crew, they were all martial artists. So
Oh, fun. What a fun
me,
group.
Trust me, when they caught shoplifters, that was quite entertaining back in the 80s when you could catch shoplifters
I bet.
and grab them, instead
wow,
of
I
hurting
bet.
someone's feelings
Oh
now.
my goodness.
So
Wow.
so that was very entertaining. But these guys they learned from a 8th degree Korean master, special forces, Vietnam. They learned traditional, like, amazing Taekwondo. So
Wow.
they were always on this search. I would go with them to different places. They were always on this search for this, like, internal power.
Okay.
And they would talk about this mystery, this mystical power of internal martial arts. And I was a teenager. I had no idea. They were reading books and trying to find this and going to, ceremonies with
just trying to figure out what's
with
next.
shamans, on the
Yeah.
reservation, and trying to get this power, this
Looking for some
spirituality. They were
enlightenment, yeah.
looking for the enlightenment, and I tagged along with a couple of adventures.
Yeah.
But here, the funny thing was, I got into that industry and I couldn't train anymore. So when I was 29, a coworker said, "Hey, I want to get into martial arts.
Okay.
Can you help me find a school?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go find a school." I searched and searched and searched, and there was a school down the street from my apartment,
Okay.
but it said karate on the sign, and I wanted to do Taekwondo, which is Korean.
Yep.
So I kind of just hesitated. I looked around. I drove around. I kind of went to my max. I'm going to drive 10 miles away or 15 miles away, and back in those days, you didn't want to drive very far, right?
No, right.
'Cause
Sure.
all the cars were not very fuel economy. I'd get
Right.
12 miles to the gallon. So all of a sudden, one day I said, "You know what? I'm going to go check out that school." So I walk in the door. I bow, and I look up, and there's a Korean flag on the wall.
Well, what's that about?
So it was his instructor was Karate Institute of Taekwondo with his name. So he had an old traditional style of Taekwondo with a lot of karate influence, because that's how Taekwondo was created. Taekwondo was created between Kung Fu and karate, and the Korean created this
Right.
system to have an Olympic sport in the 50s. So anyway, just so happened he was demonstrated Tai Chi to me, and I'm like, "Well, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I've always been curious about that." So subconsciously, it was always in my head that I was searching for this form of this thing.
Yeah.
So he taught both there, and I just started doing both.
Wow.
And I didn't stop for 12 years.
Well,
I did 12 years straight.
When you said
5
you
days
did,
a week.
you've been doing Tai Chi now for 26 years.
Yes.
Like, what keeps you practicing after all these years? What is it? Because that's a long time to stick with something.
The
Yeah.
feeling is so incredible that when your energy is at a high vibration and a high level like that, you learn to de-stress. So you learn to drain the negative energy out of your body. You learn to pull in the positive energy from the universe. By flowing your energy, it's like a buzz. It's like you're, I don't want to say high, but kind of like you're high, but I've never been high before.
So if someone so someone cuts
It's
you
a
off in traffic real bad.
It's a euphoric feeling of peacefulness, I would say, and that feeling is just fantastic. So it's a very loving, spiritual feeling.
Does it work all the time? Most of the time? Some of the time?
Once you start practicing and you start connecting with it, then it'll
Kinda
stay
automatic?
with you. It's automatic, right?
Wow. So Yeah.
So there's a journey that everybody has. When I have a
which would be independent per person, I'm sure.
every single person has a journey. So
Yeah.
one of the explanations is explained to me by my Tai Chi master is when we're born, from the minute we're born, our energy is like if I had a tube from the top of my head, right, my crown point, my third eye, I have all these chakras in my body. That tube is I'm connected with the universe, right, with my mother and the womb and the creating of me.
Okay.
And the energy is pure, right, at the purest source the minute I was born. Well, as we get older, then we learn words which are artificial, right? We learn do's and don'ts. This
We get
is
mortgages.
right. This is wrong.
We get bills.
Right? We get stress. We get bills. 2,000 years ago, if there was a monk who was doing Tai Chi and traveling, he didn't pay taxes. Now we have to work and we have to pay taxes. Life in general from thousands of years ago has changed.
I took a class. I took a class years ago. Tell me if this is the same idea. That basically it was an Eastern thought sort of class.
Landmark Forum?
Maybe, but it basically was the idea was a life is meaningless until you apply meaning to anything. In other words, life just comes at you. It doesn't really mean anything until you apply. And the tools they were trying to espouse was start applying better meanings.
Correct.
Is that kind of the same idea or not as much? No.
In a way.
I don't want to stretch it. I was just wondering.
In a way.
Okay.
I had taken a course similar to that.
Yeah.
And it helped me personally.
Okay.
Because, words are artificial, right?
Right.
We put feelings and expressions to words that create trauma to us, right? So say, for instance, you were a person and you were abused by somebody.
Yeah.
Well, then that energy flow, that's cut off because you got trauma there, right?
Yeah.
That you're not a free spiritual person, right? You've had trauma, you've had negative things happen to you. So that stress and the negative things or trauma or abuse,
Right.
that closes that channel off.
Yeah.
When you start flowing your energy again, it opens that channel up again so you
I
can
see.
be free of that negative impulses that is impacting
begin
your
with,
body.
really.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So
it's very
So-
enlightening practice.
gotcha. And so would you say Tai Chi is more about the body or the mind or both or like
All
of the above? So
Right.
a whole person.
So going
the whole person.
back, your whole being, right? Your life force is what it's about. So I get into a meditative state. So my mind tells the energy, and the energy moves my body. So when I move, it's like I'm floating like the water behind us, effortlessly.
So say you did a practice. How long does a practice usually go for? An hour, half hour?
The prime time to practice moving meditation is between 15 minutes and 45.
Okay, so let's say 15, 40 minutes. That means after sleep, I've got maybe 12 hours of working. I'm awake and stuff. Is it like the 12 hours of the day I'm a normal human and I'm stressed out all the time, and then this takes the edge off? Or does this practice in general make all of life more comfortable, would you say?
All of life. But it takes practice. It's
gotcha.
not instant. So when people ask me, like, how can I implement this in my daily life? And it's like, well, it's called prenatal breathing, right? That cosmic orbital breathing. We breathe in a circle, right?
Okay.
We want to breathe like a baby. So in gym class, I give a story. Mr. Gorilla was my junior high gym teacher, and he was like, all right, breathe in your chest, breathe out your chest, breathe in your chest, breathe out. We learn to breathe differently by sports. Sports or people influence us in a certain way. Well, in our lower dantian, which is 2 inches below our belly button,
Okay.
that's like our furnace, that's our energy source, right?
Okay.
So we want to breathe, and we want to bring our mind back to that area. So I tell people, start breathing, that circular breathing. So how do you do it? You put the tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
Your teeth and lips are slightly touching. You breathe in your nose, out your nose, slow and long. And what does that do? It calms the body down. It calms the mind down. So if you're in a stressful situation, you just think of that prenatal breathing, that slow meditative breathing.
Yeah.
And you can still be a productive person, you know, in your business and your job, but it helps you handle stress. So I've been in retail for 41 years now.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the martial arts or the meditation, I probably would have went insane years ago, because it just, you know, people in general.
For sure. And I know the breath work works.
Yes.
For sure. I've tested it out. I know lots of people, I mean, in various, you know, meditation, yoga, women when they're having kids, you know, all these things. But it's like, I could see how getting really good at that over time would be better, because, you know, when life hits you with something stressful, your automatic system starts breathing in a certain way.
Your adrenaline,
that's not
your
maybe
heart rate
favorable,
raises,
right?
Correct.
Right.
Your blood pressure goes up.
A lion's going to kill me. No, a guy just cut you off. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, but that is something that I continue to work on.
So now, kind of like in my age, in my tenure of practicing meditation, do you still get angry? Yes, but I don't let it affect me emotionally, you know?
Yeah.
I may get upset, or I may communicate my concerns, but then tomorrow's, it's gone.
I say probably doesn't last very long.
An hour later, it's gone, you know? A couple minutes, it's gone. You just let it go. You let it go.
So what about...
Because too many people will retain that negative impulse, and it's that trauma, that stress, it's internal.
Yeah, how do you...
And you have to let it go, so you learn to drain it out through practice.
And I get that. How does that work with, like, rumination of a previously horrible event? Like, in other words, you know, thoughts just pop into our head. We can't really control that, right? Maybe some song or something.
Yes,
oh, that's true. Something reminds you of something that really made you angry a while back, and now it's there. Is this helpful for that type of thing too?
Yes.
Is there less rumination, or just when it comes in, you manage it better?
I would say both.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really
you manage it better, and then you can let it go. You let it go. The frequencies changed, right?
Wow.
So one of the things you were saying on is it comes back. Something will come back.
Yeah, like ruminating on some, you know, all of a sudden something reminds you of a previous event that happened 10 years ago that made you very angry.
Right.
And you're sort of reliving it in the moment, even though it's not happened
by
since 10
doing
years
the
ago.
practice and the meditation and draining out your energy, draining out the negativity, that bad feeling, you know, it's not a bad feeling anymore. So
it's just a thing.
It's just something. It's an occurrence that happened to you.
Wow.
You know. So those experiences will, you know, when you're. So I say, when you're, it's that invisible force field, right? If our chi and our energy is strong, then it projects out. In imaginary, right? So it's like I have this invisible force field around me that protects me from negative impulses. So the stronger when you get sick, your energy level goes down, you're sick, your body goes down, your chi goes down as well, right? So you have to maintain that health, the balance in your life to stay healthy. So I was teaching a class, and someone stepped in last minute, and wow, that was amazing. I have some health problems. I'm working out some rehab. I'm a neurologist. I'm like, whoa, okay. She goes, I know this is real. I work with the brain every day.
Yeah.
She goes, that was amazing.
There's your endorsement.
I mean, what more can you get? You have just a drop in. And here it's a neurologist doctor that tells you how amazing the class was, and that it's real.
Yeah,
That's just that positive.
they have 100% studied that backwards and forwards
100%.
with MRIs and other scans. I
Correct.
forget where they
So
can
it's
say
like-
like people that are masters of meditation in the mind and stuff like that.
Yes.
Their alpha waves are so much higher than everybody else's or gamma. What I forget which one it is,
Correct.
but whatever one it is, it's a level that most normal humans like me will never understand.
Correct. So
Yeah.
you said when that subconscious is talking to you, how can you shut it off? You said earlier, right?
Yeah.
For a split second. So we call that the monkey brain. So the monkeys, you got two monkeys.
Yeah.
They're always talking to each other, right? They can't
Right.
stop. I'm looking over here. I'm like, oh wow, the bird just flew by. And I said, oh, did you hear that? Someone just
Yep.
right.
Shiny.
You're shiny,
Yeah.
right? So your subconscious is always talking to you. By doing meditation and practicing certain drills, I call it a trick. When we start tricking the mind of doing one thing. So I listen inside. I listen to my breath inside.
Yeah.
Then if I just say, I'm breathing in, I'm floating up, I'm breathing out, I'm floating down. So now I'm focusing on one task. And then that monkey brain isn't getting impacted because I'm focused on one thing. So by practicing those techniques,
That's attention.
those small little details like that, you will learn to shut it off.
Yeah, I think especially now it's super important when, I mean, almost everybody I know is becoming ADD, ADHD, some form of it because of, the way that screens and technology are. We're sort of, our attention's basically being stolen and hijacked and all these things. So I could see how this practice nowadays would be even better. This question wasn't on my group of questions, but it made me think, why Tai Chi for you over just, say, normal meditation as an example? Why?
Well, Tai Chi is sitting meditation, standing meditation.
Right, but I mean, when people think of meditation, normally they think, sitting down Indian style and sitting there for 20 minutes.
You
and,
could do the same thing with Tai Chi.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
But normally
So
when I hear Tai Chi, I think of slow movements and
Correct.
stuff. Why would one choose Tai Chi over meditation or...
I think the gain that you get is a faster, and it's a faster way to the means that what you're looking for. So in other words, if you're sitting and meditating, you will have that chi awareness.
Right.
But unless you know how to properly do sitting meditation and you're flowing the energy in your body and you're at a higher level, you won't get the benefits of strengthening your chi. So moving meditation will strengthen and increase your vibration and your chi.
Can I give you my own little sort of anecdote on this, which is, so I've tried normal meditation. I think I might have tried Tai Chi with you once for about 5 minutes or something, but that doesn't really count really. But
and you were stressed out back then.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think why I might be interested in Tai Chi over meditation for me, because I've tried meditation much more, is when I'm doing something or incorporating, which is one of the reasons why I like yoga a lot, is when I'm incorporating a movement, it is something else that my mind has to do. So I'm not just completely bombarded with thoughts.
Correct.
Meditation, I got pretty good at, okay, thought in, thought out, I see you, blah, 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 blah. But very challenging. And I know meditation is very challenging for a lot of people. Maybe Tai Chi'd be better for them.
Correct. Well, some of the people said, man, I really like the way you teach. Because every teacher is different too.
For sure.
So I make it very easy for the student. Yeah. So I'm reminding you where you need to be.
Yeah.
I inhale, I move back.
Yeah.
I exhale, I move forward. I inhale, I float up.
Dude, you're relaxing just
exhale,
watching you.
I sink, right?
It's freaking me out.
So
Jeez.
It's like I'll demonstrate to somebody at work and wow, I just feel relaxed just watching you do that.
Dude, I will tell you, just doing that is weird.
And it's like back in the day
bizarre.
when you first started, it's like you looked like it was a physical movement.
Yeah.
But now, after doing it so long, it's like I'm floating. It's like I'm floating.
Wicked.
So it's so relaxing now. I can't fake it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I can't be like, oh, I'm going to try to be as far, because it's so relaxing. It's so relaxing to get in that state. And there's so many levels to it too. It's limitless. So, I call myself a humble student for life. I don't need a title of master or anything. Right. I love to teach what I've learned. I will continue to go see my Tai Chi master and learn from him. And the amount of time and money and investments in books and videos from my master, I have a lifetime of practice. I just would review, practice, review, practice. It's a refined art.
That's what I call it, practice.
It's a beautiful dance. So if you go to a park in San Francisco, you'll see everybody out there doing Tai Chi together, right? Okay. And it's this beautiful flowing movement, and everybody's like in sync together, and you're like, wow, that is cool. Well, you can learn that. You can buy a video. You can follow along. Yeah. But are you really connecting with your energy? Are you flowing your energy in each movement? So the style that I teach, you learn individual forms, and then you flow them together into the short form and the long form. So we break it down into small segments, right? So when you do up or downward, you're connecting the energy in that form.
It sounds like you're super intentional.
It is. So then when you're doing it and you're flowing from it together, you're constantly flowing your energy so that it magnifies your experience and your meditation.
Yeah. When you were
it's very special.
That, no, I get you. As you were saying that, something that came into my mind was, how do you, after all these many years, like as an example, like I know the benefits of working out in a gym, I know the benefits of yoga, and I know the benefits of stretching, but sometimes I just don't want to do it, right? I'm like, I just, even if I know it's beneficial to me, even if I, know it's good for me, even if I'm feeling tight.
Everyone's battle.
Right. Is it the same with Tai Chi? Like, how do you get around that? Or do you sometimes go on, 2 weeks sort of vacations from it and then pick it back up with new excitement? Or how does that work?
I have gone through times in my life where something negative happened and I just kind of lost my fizzle.
Yeah.
Right? And it happens, and it's like anything else in life. We have to build a habit.
Brushing your teeth
and brushing your teeth and tying your shoes and putting on your belt, right? And you form those habits every day. So now, as you practice, then throughout the day, I'm like breathing in, breathing out, and I just remember my breathing.
Well, first of all, you said that an actual practice is 15 to 45 minutes. Not exactly a monumental commitment. I mean, that's very doable, even in a busy life.
It's like going to a coffee shop every day, right? Yeah. So we're gonna spend the time.
Actually, between driving there, getting your coffee, and drinking your coffee, driving back, you probably less time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can I ask you? I know a lot of people like to try new workouts for health and stuff. Like, if I was to start doing Tai Chi, let's say, I came and I'm your student, like, what are some of the health or stress-related benefits, like, people seem to notice first, would you say? Or are there any?
The biggest one that I have gotten from I would say a half a dozen people, just lately, is I sleep like a baby.
Oh, that's a big one. Sleep's mega important.
I have a problem going to sleep, and as soon as I get done with my meditative class, I just go home and I just am able to sleep.
So like if they did that at lunchtime, they maybe wouldn't be good for the rest of their work.
Well, no.
Should they do Tai Chi at 7 p.m. or like?
Funny you say that. So
I'm sure it helps no matter what, but
it helps no matter what when you're doing it. So if you pick up 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, you're going to cultivate your energy. But to really get that positive thing, the best time to do it is the evening. And it has to do with the sun and the moon and the energy coming into the earth.
What about after dinner, would you say?
Oh, perfect.
Because then you've eaten, you can maybe burn just a smidgen of calories. Yeah. Then it puts you into a state that you say helps induce sleep.
Funny you say that.
Okay.
Some people that are very in tune to their energy
can burn.
They're sweating. They're like physically sweating. You could see it through their shirt. It's coming down their head, and you're like, oh, your energy's
They're
on
into it.
fire.
They're into it.
Because
Wow.
when you're moving the mind and the body together, and then that increases the blood flow and the circulation, and it starts moving, and you can start breaking out a sweat.
I wonder if I could liken
Everybody's
that.
different.
I wonder if I could liken that to like when I'm in the gym at the weight room, right? And somebody says, "Oh, hey, drop the weight and do it really slow and intentional." And all of a
Correct.
sudden, it's like way harder, and I'm really
A
busting
different
sweat.
experience,
And
correct.
it's like less than half of the weight I was doing 1 minute ago, right? And I'm like,
and the student was like, "Why am I sweating? I'm
Yeah.
barely moving." And I'm like,
Wow.
because it's
So that's a sign you're doing a good job.
You're practicing the mind. The mind
Wow.
is moving the body with the energy, and that works it out.
So
It works out your whole system.
Right. So for beginners, what's like the most common mistake you might see, if that is a word to use, or where do people kind of trip up, or maybe give up? Patience.
Patience. Tai Chi is a practice of patience. I would say that's the biggest thing.
It seems.
I had faith in the system,
Yeah.
and so there's a thing called an energy charge up, where
Okay.
the Tai Chi master would give you the energy that is passed down from master to disciple, and everybody was like experiencing these wonderful things, and they're like, "Oh wow, man, did you feel that?" And I'm like, "Nope, didn't feel
Wow.
anything." Now I felt it from my other instructor, but I didn't feel it from the master. So a couple things could have happened, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to accept it, or I wasn't ready,
Messenger.
or I was getting tested. I don't know. But then the third time or the fourth time, I don't remember, then wham, it was
Gotcha.
like, oh, it got me good, and I was hooked, and I was
Wow.
like, wow, that was incredible. And then I got that seed planted, and and I got that energy source, so then I just keep cultivating it from
Gotcha.
there.
I could see one of the things that seems sort of, and I would say this about yoga too, and meditation or anything else, is like, I would think a lot of the people that probably need Tai Chi the most are those that are like really high energy and kind of spastic and, high stress individuals. Yet they're the ones probably who are least likely to make the time for it, even though
Right.
it'll probably be the most beneficial.
Yeah.
Is that, do you think that's
correct.
an accurate statement?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
For somebody that is high strung, right?
Yes.
Or high stress,
Yeah.
right? Whatever you want
Stop
to call
looking at
it.
me so intently.
What do you want
But
to
go
call
on.
it? That's where it comes. It's a practice of patience.
Yeah.
So over time, it's like, oh, you know what? I took a class. I didn't like it. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you got to give it a couple months. You got to give it a couple months, and you got to come regularly. Not just once a month or
And if it's
once
also-
every other week.
And it's also like some of my yoga classes where I'm like, oh crap, I got this deadline, I got to do it in an hour and a half. But I told so and so I'd beat him at the yoga class, right? So
Yeah.
I'm in there, but really, my mind and everything is on this project. I got to finish as soon as I run out of the class, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to get much out of that
Right.
class if you're not focused.
If you
So
do
know what I mean,
anything,
right? I mean,
even with martial arts,
Yeah.
and or meditation or anything else,
Yeah.
2 to 3 times a week
we'll get you there.
will get you there.
Okay.
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 That's great.
That's
So,
pretty good then. That's not a big commitment.
It's it's not a huge
in the-
commitment
in the-
because then once you get the basics down and you're consistently going, say twice a week,
Yeah.
then it's on your mind.
Well, do
Then you start changing your breathing,
Right.
and then that
It's-
starts calming the mind down and the
may-
body down.
I may have to try
and,
this.
and it's
You are convincing. Because what you just described.
it's worth the it's like my career, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the long haul.
Right.
Some
Exactly.
people are lucky.
Yep.
Some people get a great break and they
Yep.
get
Yep.
good investments, and
Yep.
they've got that. And some people, it's the long haul.
Yeah.
I've been at my current career. Let's see, what's the date today? We're the 30th, so in
Yeah.
14 days, I'll be 31 years at my job.
Wow. Congratulations. No one does
31
that
years,
anymore.
31
That's
years.
a long time.
Right?
Wow.
But the end result is paying off.
Yeah, sure. Which is where this is. It kind of goes with this. Yeah, I agree. The thing where I find it like something that kind of got me sort of encouraged and charged up about it, talking to you just now, is basically if I do the math 2 to 3 days a week, 15 to 45 minutes each time, you're talking an hour or two a week which is nothing. I spend that much time one time in the gym between going there, doing my workout, and coming back. You know, with all the benefits that you've sort of espoused here, for that little of a commitment, that seems like a pretty
It's profound.
pretty
It's
easy
profound.
transaction
Yes.
to make.
It is.
So like, how long does it take for a beginner or someone to feel like they're kind of getting it? Like
Well,
you've described. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's that
or at least
personal,
first
that's-
level getting it.
That's a personal journey, right?
Okay.
It all depends on the person, who they are, how they live
So
their
could it
life.
be like to go range like 1 month to 10 years?
No, I wouldn't say it's that long. I would say it's one class
Wow.
to
10 classes?
2-3 months.
So not
maybe.
bad. So
No, not a huge
so
commitment.
Not at all.
Because it's
wow.
you know you're training the mind and the body together.
Yeah.
So by you just get that tenacity, right, and just keep going through the movements.
Wow.
And it's like a leap of faith, right? It's like
Right.
a leap of faith. I know that this is beneficial for me. I'm just not feeling it yet. So most people that I've taught the way I teach, they will feel some kind of sensation after the first class.
Wow.
And the one thing that was great is I don't tell them what that sensation is.
Right.
I'll just say, do this, breathe this way, you know, I say, check your battery. Okay, we're going to do this, practice, right?
Yeah.
And then if you feel anything, remember what that sensation is, and then we're going to check after the end of the class. Then they check again, they do the same breathing exercises, and then they're like, wow, what was that?
Little light bulb action.
Why is this different all of a sudden?
Huh.
Because we worked out our chi.
Wow.
And when we work out our chi and we do that moving meditation, that, you got the bars on the cell phone, the bars go up, the battery charges up, the vibration goes up, we feel it. Now, some people don't feel it right away.
Yeah.
I had a gentleman, and he was like, wow, okay, I felt it. I felt something. He goes, I haven't felt it.
Yeah.
He goes, but he had faith enough. He felt good enough.
Yeah.
So he was feeling other things that were beneficial for him to keep coming to the class, but he didn't feel the energy per se until that experience.
Yeah, and I do think that's like anything. And I go back to somebody that's really stressed out and went to like a yoga class, but they might go to your first Tai Chi class totally stressed out about a deadline at work. They might go to your second Tai Chi class worried about their relationship at home and they're really stressed out about that, or something with their kids. But the third class, they might be able to show up and be a little more present and engaged, and that might be the one that clicks over.
Or they just came back from vacation and they're relaxed, right?
Or that, right.
Relaxed. So, like you said, everybody has that different
when it's
thing
gonna hit
going
'em.
on when it's going to hit them, and that's what's beautiful about this art.
Yeah, and it sounds beneficial in any category. But I want to ask you, can anyone practice Tai Chi, or are there limitations for like age, physical ability? No, there's a way to. Anybody could do this.
Anybody can do it.
At any age.
Yes.
Like there's not something that's too young or too old.
No.
Not really. Wow.
No,
well, that's good
really.
to know.
No. I've trained people in a wheelchair before that are wheelchair bound and in their 80s and 90s.
So anybody.
Anybody.
So can people practice? I know you kind of mentioned this earlier, and I think you would probably stipulate that it's better to have a teacher. But couldn't people practice this at home? Like, can they pop on a YouTube video? Like, if you had a thing, could they do that?
They can.
You know what I mean?
I would highly recommend going to my Tai Chi Master's website.
Right.
Because then they have Master Bob is one of the longest students at the school and the head instructor there, right? And he put the whole system online, so you can rent a video and follow the same system that I teach.
Right.
There are many lineages and many different styles of Tai Chi, but my style, I'm kind of prone to that.
Sure.
I'm kind of snooty that way. I'm like, this is the grand ultimate. He's the best.
So let me think. If that if say somebody tried your style or another style and it didn't suit them, would you think the other Tai Chi styles might be different enough to where they should try those and see if they find benefit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Find something that you feel a connection with. There's a student that came up from Tucson.
Yeah.
There's nobody that teaches it down there. She
Okay.
found a school, but it was a different style.
Okay.
And I said, well, go. If you're feeling your energy and they're teaching energy work, then that's a good school. But if they're not teaching the energy work and you're not feeling anything, then revert back to me and we'll reassign you another project.
And just to put a pin in it so I understand this fully, because I hear this energy work stuff, and I'm not sure what that means. Is that life force? Is that
Yes.
what you're
Life force, your chi.
That's what that basically means? Okay.
Yep. We're working out our chi.
Okay. Now for the questions that I think some of our viewers will find interesting. I think I will anyways.
There you go.
Or more interesting. The other ones are quite interesting too, but these are probably the ones that you might get like, oh, come on. But can Tai Chi be used for self-defense, or is that just a myth? It seems too slow to stop anything.
Tai Chi, well, as a martial artist for many years.
Yeah, I was going to say you're the perfect person to ask for this because you did other martial arts.
I did martial
that
arts.
were competitive.
Yeah.
Taekwondo is an Olympic
third degree
sport.
black belt in Taekwondo.
Okay, there you go.
A year of Kung Fu.
There we
I
go.
put enough time.
Perfect.
So,
You're
15
the right
years,
person.
15 years of Taekwondo.
Right person for this crazy question that I had to say.
Well, here's the funny part. To get to the internal martial arts can be a long journey. And if you don't have a humble partner and you're not practicing properly, you won't get there. Will it help you in a self-defense thing, practicing Tai Chi as an older person? Absolutely. Because when you condense the energy in your bones become harder and stronger.
Okay.
So if someone does attack you and you're not able to defend yourself, you're not going to get hurt as badly or break bones or falling down or whatnot, say if you were robbed or something.
Right. Insofar as you're already healthier.
For me, when you watch these videos of these Tai Chi masters and stuff, and they're getting their butts kicked by other martial artists, I'm like, my Tai Chi master, I couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
But he's the only one I've ever seen that has his ability.
Okay.
So, but, that's it's kind of like 1 in a million kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are there his students that have the ability? Absolutely. But they've been there a long time and they have humble practice partners.
I would just say.
So I would just say, now, that's a great question too, because you also learn to move more fluidly and faster and avoiding conflict as well. So, a true martial artist doesn't get in a fight.
Right.
And if you're in a fight, you're going to finish it really quick. And that's kind of one of the things where, as far as energy goes, I've been in places when I'm, my energy's high and I got the bad mojo.
Yeah.
That subconscious, and I just leave. I don't put myself in that situation.
No, you just see, right, I got you.
I use my subconscious,
Right.
I feel that negative energy, and then I just decide
the fight you're guaranteed to
it's
win
time
is
to go.
the fight you're guaranteed to win is the one you're not in, right?
Right.
Yeah. What's funny is I
because
remember
I see the big picture, right?
totally.
Karma.
Exactly.
I don't want that negative karma coming back, or
Right.
I'm in this point in my life where I want nothing but the positive karma coming to me.
Have you ever had a student surprise you with their progress?
Yes. Yeah. Some people are really, really in tune to their energy. Some people, like Master said one time, he goes, some people are born with psychic abilities, right? Some people are born with different abilities that naturally they're smarter, they're faster, they're more athletic, they jump to the top of everybody else.
You keep going like this away from me on all the good ones.
Right?
But go ahead.
I'll push you to the positive ones.
Some people are smart. Some people are not as smart.
Right.
I'm like, wait, hey,
So,
I'm right here. Anyway,
you're smart, Jason. So the great thing is that you've got that ability.
Okay.
And training in the martial arts, the ego is your worst enemy, and I always say, if something negative is there, just avoid the situation. Don't get yourself in conflict.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Which is smart. That's good advice no matter what, Tai Chi or otherwise.
And it's a level of confidence and experience too, It's
So-
like,
Yeah.
I've been in a situation where it's like, okay, I'm not afraid to fight because I'm a fighter, by nature. You know, I sparred every week and got good at what I did. I fine-tuned my art. Now, am I confident enough to take someone on? Yeah, but what is the goal there? You know, most people that are bullies or whatever, once they get confronted, they back down. You know.
Right. So, what's something about Tai Chi most people would find unexpected or amazing? What's like one thing that maybe is kind of an unexpected or an amazing thing that people might experience?
Well, those 6 students that just sleep like a baby, they didn't experience that to happen.
I wouldn't have
right
thought about
away
that.
After one class. So they know that the system's real, that it's relaxing, that it's beneficial to their health.
It wasn't likely that they got tired though, right? It was more of like the calming
just
effect.
The calming and relaxing.
Okay.
You know, it's very relaxing when you do moving meditation. The other thing is I think when people would, you know, take a class from me and they may drain their negative energy, and we do something positive, or we, you know, increase our energy flow, they feel that. The energy in them, they feel it, and that is like euphoric for them. They're like, wow, I feel amazing.
Right.
You know, so that uplift in energy, it's like your spirit, right? So, you know, if you're down, or you're having issues, or you're struggling, and I lifted up that spirit, then it gave you drive, gave you purpose, right? It gave you something to look forward to in the next class.
I don't know of anyone that doesn't love going into a seminar, an event, a class, or whatever, where they've got a really good teacher that somehow says the right thing, is inspiring or some way or whatever. What's amazing to me about that is that one word, one look, one attitude, or whatever gets thrown your way can shift the entire dynamic of your day, week, a year, maybe life. And it's just incredibly powerful. It's a very strange thing. Before we finish this little interview here, and thanks for sharing your experience, man. You have a broad depth of experience on this subject. Do you have any thoughts, any final thoughts for our viewers or listeners that we didn't cover about Tai Chi?
I think, you know, for me, my subconscious was always kind of curious about meditation in some way or form or another.
Right.
I didn't follow that lead, you know. I didn't start doing Tai Chi until I was 29 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
I wish I would have done it as a teenager.
So
I did Taekwondo as a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, you're older. It's almost 30 years old.
But I was almost 30 years old.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I wish I would have done that sooner, you know?
Right.
And that goes back to the woulda, shoulda, coulda. So trust your instincts, you know?
Okay.
If you're curious about something, go get a book. Go find something.
Right.
You know,
does it matter if they're in a good place or a bad place, or, you know, because, you know, life, I always say, you know, life's not typically very easy. Fair. Maybe easier for you than other people, but
I struggled.
But just like, you know, some days I feel pretty motivated, right? Oh, it's New Year's and I'm going to do this New Year's resolution. And other times, you know, you can be feeling pretty down in the dumps, like, what's this all about? And boy, my job sucks and my relationship stinks. And, you know what I mean? Like, is it good to maybe give this a shot wherever you're at, or
so.
like, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, it seems like
because it's a positive thing. It's a positive thing in your life.
Right. In other words, it's a net positive. So how could that be bad under any circumstance?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And I always say too, you know, you said in earlier about the different styles.
Yeah.
I think every style of martial arts or meditation or whatever is great. So it's like you have to find your passion and you have to find your like. Some people are incredible yoga instructors and feel it. Some people become a Reiki master and feel it. Some people become Tai Chi practitioners and feel it.
Yeah.
You're going to find a path and it's going to find you. If you put it out in the universe that you're seeking this, it will come to you in some way or another. All the people I've come in contact with, there's a reason that they came to my class. There's a reason that I started teaching there. You know, all these things, it puts everybody on a path that they're meant to be.
Awesome. That's a great closing statement. And thank you, Mike, for a great interview.
You're welcome.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.